Welcome to Subramani. I'm going to talk to you about three things which look very different from each other but are very common. So one is running, second is investing, and third is writing. And in case you're wondering what is the relationship, they are very closely related. Or let me talk to you about the relationship. In running, I used to be a runner. I still am a runner, but of course I'm older and slower, and I'm not been running since COVID times. The running has been very erratic. There's no regular pattern to it. But yeah, I can call myself an ex-runner. In running, you start running and you realize that end of a great workout or end of the day, you don't know whether you have improved much as a runner than what you were the previous day. But it's a continuous effort, and the feedback is a long feedback. After some time you realize that you passed by the 5-kilometer mark or by the 7-kilometer mark without stopping, right? Or you reach the 11-kilometer mark with a group of friends without stopping. Then you realize, oh, you've become a better runner, right? That's how you get feedback. The body gives you feedback over a long period of time. On a day-to-day basis, you can't see yourself improving. Now ditto that for writing, and ditto that for investing. You really you don't know whether you're improving every day as an investor. So the question is, what do you do to keep improving as an investor on a daily basis? Is to write down your thoughts. Write down saying, oh, this is what I think this share will do, this is what I think this industry will do, this is what I think this industrialist will do. Whatever you want to write down, keep writing down and see whether you were right. So talk to people, read. If you read a book, write down what you learned from that book, or either chapter wise make a summary. I mean, summary is too much, we may not end up doing, but at least 2-3 lines about each chapter, and there you have your book review, right? So at least attempt making a book review. Now similarly, in investing, how do you know whether you're improving as an investor? How do you know that you're getting more patient and saying, okay, what I'm investing for is the long-term advantages that this company has. So to me, it does not really matter how it performs on a quarter-to-quarter basis. Last quarter, the prices of raw material fell down, therefore its margins improved. And this year, the oil prices are high, so the margins are lower. So, but I'm not judging this company on a quarter-to-quarter basis, so it does not really matter. In the long run, the company has some advantages, and therefore I'm investing in that company for that reason. So I'm investing in Amazon because of a particular reason, I'm investing in Asian Paints because of a particular reason, in HDFC Bank because of a particular reason. Now it's also important to realize that when you are a short-term investor, these long-term advantages of that company don't really matter. It does not really matter to you whether HDFC Bank is a good bank or a bad bank. It's a great bank as far as acquisition of clients are concerned, but it may not be a great bank as far as the services, giving good quality service is concerned. So largely when you ask investment consultant, he'll say, oh, last month they acquired 40,000 new customers in credit card, they acquired 2 lakh new customers in insurance or whatever, right? So the fact that they're acquiring a lot of customers does not mean it's a great business, because you have to find out what is the edge they have. If marketing is the only edge, maybe some competitor will emerge and take away their top quality clients, right? So you have to look at what are the advantages that the company has and whether those advantages matter to you as a long-term investor. It matters only if you're a long-term investor. It cannot matter if you're a short-term investor, because how does it matter to you whether HDFC is rendering good service or HDFC Bank is not rendering good service? You would be indifferent to it. Similarly, these kind of feedback on investing, on writing, even on writing, what happens is you don't know whether you're improving day to day as a writer. So you keep reading good quality books and start writing about those books in a piece of, in a file or in a notebook or something like that, and you keep writing, and that is how you improve your writing. So whenever I meet people and they say, I want to write, I generally read it as, I hear it as, I want to get published. There's a big difference between writing and getting published, because getting published is a completely different ball game. I don't know how the equation works, but writing does not make money for you. Writing allows you to go around the world saying, see, this is my book, this is a new book that I've published, and this is what I've talked about, and therefore you can use my services for something else, right? It's more all the marketing in writing is done by the author, not by the people who publish your books. They hardly do any marketing. Their job is to do sales. They make sure that the book is available in every place, but other than that, they can't really do much. So the question, when somebody says, I want to write, what I read it or hear it as, I want to get published. So be clear about what you want. Do you want to get published or do you want to write? Largely, it is about wanting to get published and be visible. So if you are a fund manager, are you saying your fund management skills are good, or are your asset gathering skills are good? So for example, a fund manager with about say 6,000, 7,000 crores in assets and earning say 2% at the top line is meaning to make between 120 to 140 crores at the top line. And after that, if he can just dramatically control his costs, he will make 100 crores if he can control his cost to 20 crores. I'm just putting some numbers. I'm not saying these numbers are workable. So largely the so-called fund managers who come on television are not making money by just fund management, but by talking about their fund management skills, attracting more money, and therefore they personally make more money. Like for example, a person who talks about say technical trading makes more money selling technical bulletins and letters rather than by actually trading on the theories which he claims to have developed. So similarly in writing, do you want to write well? If you want to write well, these are the steps. If you want to get published, then these are the steps. They are not necessarily connected. It is not as though you start writing and you keep on improving as a writer, and one day somebody comes to you and say, you write such good stuff, we must publish you as a book. That doesn't happen. The way to work today is to go to a publisher and say, I want to write on this topic. Do you think you can sell it? Once they say they can sell the product, which is ultimately your job to sell, you can then write exactly the way the publisher wants you to write, and so that it can get published. So make no that is a huge difference between wanting to write well and wanting to get published. Similarly in investing, do you want to become a better and better investor? Then you have to read, you have to experiment, you have to buy some shares, you have to know why you're buying the shares for the long run, because then you look at the advantages. So these are the advantages that it has, and therefore I am buying this share, right? So largely, if you want to get published, then you write very differently. You'll be willing to invest in marketing. And today there are enough publishers who will happily publish you, maybe by you partaking in their costs. So go and tell them that I'll give you so much money. The chances are you'll get published. It does not make you a good writer. The other way to do is to keep improving as a writer and therefore getting published, and therefore the book selling well. So whether it's the cart or the horse, that is the question that you have to ask yourself. Now similarly, when it comes to investing, there are people who want to be seen as good investors and not necessarily be good investors. So if they're seen as good investors by a majority of the people, and that is measured by the amount of hours that you get on visibility on television or social media or print media, chances are more people will come to you with money, right? So if you are managing 5,000 crores this year and you shift from 5,000 crores, you go to 6,000 crores, nothing by growth, just by collecting extra checks, you have increased your income by 2% of that extra 1,000 crores, that is by 20 crores, which is a very good sum of money for anybody. And this does not require any investing skills, it requires marketing skills. So understand who is a marketing person and who is a real fund manager. The fund manager need not come out and be visible to everybody if all he wants to do is to say, I want to manage money well, right? I just want to manage money well. So I have 7 crores, I'll manage 7 crores. I have 70 crores, I'll manage 70 crores. If I have 7,000 crores, I'll be intimidated, so I'm not ready for it, but I'm happy to go from 7 crores to 70 crores of assets under management. Beyond that, I don't know whether I will be able to manage, right? So find out what you really want. Do you want to be a good investor, or you want to be a good asset gatherer? Because asset gatherers make more money than investment managers. Make no doubt I have no doubt about this. AMCs make more money than the CIOs managing it, right? So understand what you want, see what you are happy doing. Are you happy writing, or are you happy getting published? Are you happy investing, or are you happy collecting more and more money because you know that the fee that you make is a percentage of assets? So you have to find out what you are good at. You have to find out what interests you. If you like running, you have to understand that the body will give you a feedback only over a long period of time. Same thing about writing, and same thing about investing. It's not overnight you know whether you have done well in investing or not done well in investing. It's a question of also whether you want to compare yourself and say, oh, I have not done as well as X, or not done as well as Y, or say done much better than Z, right? So those are all questions that you have to answer. So there is a connection between wanting to write and getting published. There is a connection between wanting to look like a good fund manager and collecting assets than actually managing the funds. You tend to meet people from all walks, and you realize that some people only want to write and some people only want to get published. Perfect, to each his own, but at least you should know what you're in it for. Are you there for improving as a writer? Are you there to improve as an investor? Or are you just saying, okay, I have got so much of assets under management, I've written 5 books, I've co-authored 4 books, and then the question is finding out, do you want to write, do you want to publish, do you want to invest, do you want to gather assets, right? Do you want to run, or you don't want to run? Somebody like me is just almost stopped running, right? So find out what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, and pursue that. Nothing right or wrong. Thank you.